Hello and welcome now to Look North. The main news from around Yorkshire today. A danger to themselves, how delays for assessments are leaving vulnerable adults at risk of harm. And the ancient woodlands in our region under threat because of HS2. Good afternoon. Thousands of vulnerable adults in Yorkshire could be at risk due to a delay in carrying out assessments to keep them safe. People without the mental ability to make decisions, often those with dementia or Alzheimer's, can be deprived of their freedom if they're thought to be a danger to themselves or others. But many are still waiting to be assessed over a year after applying. Nathan Turvey has our main story.
Just there, that's you.
The second one?
Yeah.
The second one in?
Yeah, second one in.
94-year-old David Neal was an army major and fought in the Second World War.
That's what you used to look like.
Are you?
Yeah.
He now has Alzheimer's, and before coming to live at this care home in Scarborough, David used to forget things and go missing.
He'd got himself on a bus one day because my mother-in-law couldn't find him in the shopping centre. He was there 1 minute and then gone the next, and he'd got himself on a bus and then didn't know where to get off. It is worrying. It's a constant worry. Shall we have a look at this one?
The worry was meant to stop when David moved to this care home in 2016. The team here and his family applied for a deprivation of liberty safeguards, also known as Dole's assessment. This allows staff to keep him in the home in order for him to stay safe. But almost 3 years later, they're still waiting. And David isn't alone. Last year, almost 22,000 Dole's applications were made in Yorkshire. But more than half of those were not completed. In North Yorkshire, almost 900 cases have been waiting for more than a year.
The majority of people aren't waiting for 3 years. We have several hundred people waiting over a year. We do constantly check those. We periodically do a review of those.
The government is trying to reform what it says is a broken system. Changes to the law currently going through Parliament will replace the Doles with a new assessment. It's hoped this will bring down the waiting time for people like David.
It's our relatives and they're very vulnerable, and they deserve to have a proper assessment. It's not fair for their safety to be put in jeopardy, because at the end of the day the Dole's assessment is there to protect them and keep them safe.
Tanya Neal ending that report by Nathan Turvey, and there'll be more on that story at 6:30 tonight. Detectives in Huddersfield are linking 3 shooting incidents in the last week as targeted offences between people known to each other. Shots were fired at a house on Scott Vale on the 29th of December. The following day, a man was seriously injured after a shooting on Birkby Hall Road. On Wednesday, the 2nd of January, shots were fired on Clara Street. 5 people have been arrested in connection with the incidents. Anyone with information is asked to contact the police. It's feared up to half a dozen ancient woods in our region could be under threat because of the high-speed 2 rail line. Campaigners claim irreplaceable wildlife habitat may be lost forever if the woodland, some of which dates back to the 17th century, is lost. Phil Bodmer has been to an ancient woodland in a small corner of northeast Derbyshire.
It was right along the bottom of the wood. They're taking that part of the wood away to open cast it, and then it runs right along the back of the wood.
Mark Hewitt's family have been farming land around Norwood near Killamarsh for generations. This ancient woodland, stretching for almost 100 acres, is home to numerous flora and fauna. But Mark is concerned that plans for the HS2 rail line could destroy a vital wildlife habitat.
There's crossbills, firecrests, the birds, there's owls, kestrels, there's buzzards, there's hares, rabbits, there's deer. The people of Killamarsh love this. I'm only the keeper, but it's so beautiful. I'm proud and a lucky man to be here. And if I can do my best to stop this train, I will be. It's absolute white elephant.
Current plans show a viaduct and cuttings through parts of Norwood, but campaigners claim planting new trees simply to replace those lost is not the solution.
It's the same as saying, well, we'll knock down St Paul's Cathedral and we'll rebuild it somewhere else. No one would accept that.
The Woodland Trust claims more than 100 locations across the country are at risk from loss or damage in both Phase 1 and Phase 2 of the project. In our region, Norwood is just one of up to half a dozen sites under threat.
They could tunnel here. There are engineering solutions, it's not impossible, and we think that High Speed 2 haven't done anywhere near enough. They've identified the ancient woodlands and they recognise that they're irreplaceable, but then they don't do anything to avoid the habitat, and then they'll talk about planting trees, but you can't replace ancient woodland, it's impossible.
Inevitably there will be some impacts. What we've been trying to do is trying to strike the right balance between avoiding environmental features but also avoiding communities. So we have of course looked at all number of options of alternatives, including tunnelling. Where that hasn't been feasible, we've set that out clearly in our reports, and we've made it clear as to why that is the case.
The results of a consultation on the plans are likely to be made public in the spring. HS2 says it is listening to interested parties and is taking concerns seriously. For now, this little corner of northeast Derbyshire remains undisturbed, as it always has done. Phil Bodmer, BBC Look North, Killamarsh.
Now, he's a famous face on Sheffield streets, the green wig-wearing fundraiser dubbed the Pram Man. And today, on his 80th birthday, a surprise party was held for John Burkill at the Town Hall. Sally Hurst was there.
How you doing, buddy?
Hello, Clark.
Keep up the good
All
work,
the very
mate.
best to you.
You
Take
keep
care.
up the good work, pal.
Take care.
He's been pounding the streets of Sheffield with his pram for decades, a tireless fundraiser for Macmillan Cancer Support.
All the best to you.
And to you, mate.
Are you okay?
He's 80 years old today, and a happy birthday to him. Joining us.
His walk today takes him to the Town Hall, where he thought he was coming for an interview.
Come on in, John. You're live on BBC Radio Sheffield. Happy birthday.
Thank you very, very much, Toby.
People like John really embolden what it means to be from Sheffield, in all honesty. Hard-working, shows that you're creative, shows that you really care about other people, most importantly.
He's just an invaluable fundraiser for us. Not only does he obviously bring in such a lot of money for us, which allows us to do what we do and provide the services we do, he inspires so many people to fundraise. They see John up and about, rain or shine, and they think, you know what, if he can do it, I want to do that too.
Here we go. Yeah.
In 2013, John Burkill was awarded the British Empire Medal and earlier this year took part in his 1000th fundraising race. It all started after his wife and daughter died within a year of each other.
My daughter went in for a small operation to have a polyp off her stomach. My wife developed cancer from that day and died the following year the same day, would you believe? So I thought, well, I can do something about this if I can. So that's when I started on fundraising. So.
Now 80, are you going to be slowing down?
No, I'm going to carry on as long as I can. I mean, if I put one foot in front of the other, I'm going to keep going.
Oh, congratulations to John. It's always nice to see him down there in Sheffield. Now then, the weekend weather prospects, and Abby is with us. Hi, Abby.
Hello. Well, I wish the weekend weather forecast was as fabulous as the Pram Man, because it's a little bit dull. It's a bit uninspiring, our skies at the moment, but at least it is dry. It is quite chilly, though, if you are heading out this afternoon or even into the weekend. High pressure in the driving seat, though not really budging. We'll see some subtle changes over the weekend. A little bit of drizzle is possible on this cold front overnight into Sunday, but it will die a death by the time it reaches us. So just one or two spots, I doubt we'll even notice it. So yes, a mostly dry, albeit pretty cloudy couple of days. So a good amount of clouds showing on the satellite, just the potential for a couple of breaks, a couple of brighter spells this afternoon. The cloud layer is very thin, so if it does break, it will brighten skies immediately, but I wouldn't hold your breath. There'll be few and far between. Temperatures today reaching about 5 or 6 Celsius, so feeling very, very chilly if you are heading out. So staying dry then overnight, I think we will see a couple of clear spells through the second half of the night, and here a little bit of mist may form and temperatures could drop as low as about freezing point, perhaps even -1 Celsius, but the cloud acting as a bit of a blanket and keeping most temperatures just above freezing. So some mist to start the day tomorrow. It will be quite chilly, and while it's going to be a cloudy start, I think it will be slightly breezier, and that wind could just blow a few holes in the cloud east of the Pennines, so anywhere further east, particularly for parts of North Yorkshire. Again, those bright spells few and far between though, highs of about 7 or 8 degrees. Then some drizzle is possible overnight into Sunday, but it will have cleared most places through the day, so a dry couple of days.
OK, thanks very much, Abby. That's it. Amanda and Harry will be here at 6:30. Have a good afternoon.